Do you know that you can actually move to Canada as a permanent resident? Do you have a job experience and you want to know if you will be eligible to move to Canada with that job experience? Then this video is for you. Welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. This is Gifty here again. If today is the first time you see my face, my name is Gifty. I mostly share content about anything in helping you in relocating to Canada and life in Canada in general. So guys, I am back again. Recently, I don't know, I'm putting this forward. If anybody knows solution to it, please let me know. YouTube has constantly been reducing my watch hours and I don't understand. I chat the support team and whatever that they are saying is still something that I haven't committed. Like they said, I should probably remove my private videos and other stuffs. I've deleted some videos, but I haven't. So I don't know what's wrong. It's very frustrating. Like, it's not easy, like a small YouTuber, you building up and suddenly you realize there is like your watching hours that you need to build for you to be eligible for monetization has been reduced. It's just frustrating. So please, if I have somebody here who knows like something, who has experienced something about that and can tell me what to do, please leave it in the comments, or you can chat me through my mail. Check my description and please chat and let me know what's wrong and what I can do to help. Okay, so guys, we are back again. Basically, today's content, I will be talking about like the express entry that we previously had a video on. I will be talking about the specific ones that you can apply for and the specific requirements as I promised in my last video. So guys, please, if this is something that you are interested in, please stay tuned. Don't skip this video. Try and subscribe if you haven't. Try and like and comment, share to as many as you can, and let's keep our family growing, guys. If you are a new subscriber, if you are watching me for the first time, thank you for stopping by. My name is Gifty. Always be with me and I'll keep you posted. Okay, so guys, before much ado, let's get into today's content. Last week in my previous video, I was talking about the express entry. So if you haven't watched that video, please go watch it so that you get a basic of today's content. Okay, so I was talking about the express entry, which is like the program that you can use to apply for permanent residence in Canada, no matter where you are. If you are already in Canada, if you are schooling in Canada, if you are like abroad, like outside Canada, and you want to apply to come to Canada as a PR, you can still use that program to apply. So that is what last content was about. It was about the basic requirements. We mentioned about work experience, we mentioned about education, and we mentioned about other factors that can also help you to be eligible or get more points. So as you all remember, we have 3 categories of this program, and today we are going much deeper into it so that you will know which one you are eligible to apply. So let me share my screen with you whilst I put you through this. So these are the 3 programs that we have. That is the Federal Skilled Worker Program. We have the Federal Skilled Trade Program. We have the Canadian Experience Class. So last week, as we were talking about, the Canadian Experience Class are mostly for those that are educated in Canada, okay? And the Federal Skilled Trade and the Federal Skilled Worker Program are for those that are like international. And if you are in Canada, you can still use this stream. You just have to consider which one that you get more points for. Okay, so we were saying that the Federal Skilled Trade are mostly for if you have like a handy skills, okay, all those bakery and chef and all these things, they are all skilled trades. And the Federal Skilled Worker Program are like other job experiences. Okay, so we are going much we are we will be digging into it today so that you know the specific requirements for each. So first of all, because most of my viewers are like living outside Canada, I would like to start with the federal programs. Okay, so let's look at the first one, which is the Federal Skilled Worker Program. So it says that eligibility for express entry program, okay, for federal skilled worker. So a federal skilled worker program is for skilled workers who have work experience and want to become permanent residents. Okay, so let's look at the requirements. So the minimum requirements will be you have to consider your work experience, your language ability, your education, your selection factors, proof of fund, admissibility, where you can live in Canada, and the next step in the process. To be eligible, you must meet all the minimum requirements for skilled work experience, language ability, and education. These are the minimum requirements that you need for the skilled worker program. So without these three requirements, you wouldn't be eligible if you are outside the country and you want to apply. These are the basic ones that you should consider doing first before you apply. Okay, so if you meet all the minimum requirements, we will assess your application based on additional selection factors. So the additional selection factors are factors that are part of it, which we will be talking about it, but this is the minimum one that everyone should meet before you can apply through the skilled federal stream. Okay, so skilled work experience means that you've worked in one of these NOC occupation classification, and in my previous video I talked about tier 0, those under tier 0, tier 1, those under that, tier 2 and tier 3. So please reflect back to that video so you can get to understand these tiers. So these tiers mostly talks about your work category. So each work categories falls under a different tiers. Okay, so you go into the next video and you look at these tiers and you see where your occupation falls under. So your occupation should fall under these tiers, not any job experience that you can use to apply. So you have to look at these tiers so that you know whether your job experience falls under these tiers. Okay, so you must show that whilst working in your primary occupation, you perform the action in the lead statement of the occupation description in the NOC, most of the main duties listed. So your primary occupation means, so if you're asking about what a primary occupation is, it means the job you have experience in, want to base your immigration application on. So if I am like a nurse in Ghana and I want to use that to apply, that means that my work experience should be that I am working as a nurse. Okay, so you should have experience for the nursing, and that is what you are using to apply for the federal skilled stream. Okay, so I hope you understand. So I'm using the nursing to apply from back home. I should be having experience for nursing. That's the primary occupation explanation. So your primary occupation may not be your most recent work experience. If you don't have the minimum work experience in the primary NOC you choose, you won't be found eligible. Okay, so your primary occupation may not be your most recent work experience. Maybe I was first working as a nurse, but maybe currently I am doing a different thing. Okay, that isn't the problem. You can still use the nursing to apply because you have work experience for the nursing. Okay, but they are saying that if you don't have the minimum work experience for the nursing, then you won't be eligible. So let me cite an example. Like maybe I was in nursing before, like a nursing school, but I didn't work as a nurse when I completed. and right now maybe I'm working as a banker, I'm working as a different thing, okay, I cannot use the nursing to apply for the federal skills stream to come to Canada as a permanent resident because I don't have work experience for that. But if you previously worked in the nursing and you are currently not working as a nurse, but you previously you previously have a nursing experience, you are eligible to still use it to apply. Okay, so the basic thing that you should understand is that you should have a work experience for the work that you are using to apply for this stream. I hope I'm clear. Okay, all right, so let's move on. Your skilled work experience must be in the same type of job of the NOC as a primary work occupation, have been obtained within the last 10 years. Okay, so the last 10 years you should, like, maybe I've worked as a nurse for like 5 years, I am eligible. Okay, so it's within 10 years. Be paid work, so it shouldn't be a voluntary work, it should be a paid work. Okay, be at least 1 year of continuous work or 1,560 hours total. That is 30 hours per week. So that work that you are using to apply, you should have like 1 year work experience. It doesn't mean if it was previous or current, you should still have like been working for like 1 year, okay, or 1,560. That is like 30 hours per week. You can meet this in a few different ways. So it can be like you have a full-time for one job, which you are accumulating like 60 hours a week for that for 1 year, or you can still accumulate it with part-time jobs, maybe 2 part-time jobs, working 15 hours here, working 15 hours there to accumulate 30 hours a week. So with a work experience too, if it is like a student work experience, then it should be a paid one, and also it should be continuous with no gaps, and also it should meet all the requirements for like the other requirements for the program. Okay, so you can still use a student job, but it should meet all these factors for study work experience. So let's move to the language ability. So the language ability is the same as what I spoke of in my previous video. The language ability, you should make sure that you are taking an approved test in English or French. So we have the reading, writing is the same thing as what I spoke of the last time in my video, either the IELT or the CELPIP or the other PTEs. So meet the minimum score required in all 4 abilities. So as you remember, I told you tier 1, you have a different requirement for your English test, like either benchmark 5 or whatever. So your tiers will also tell you the mark that you need to get for that. So enter the test results in your express entry profile. Your language tests are valid for just 2 years, so it shouldn't be expired whilst you are applying. Okay, then the education is what I spoke of. If you want to school in Canada, you must have a certificate, a diploma or a degree from a Canadian secondary school or post-secondary school. So if your education is a foreign education, then you have to consider a completed education credential. So if you want to go much deeper into that, you can do that here. You have to evaluate with words, which I know of. An education credential assessment for immigration purposes, that is from a designated organization. So if you click here, it will show you all the designated like organization that can help you assess your evaluation. So we have the comparative education service, we have international credential assessment service, we have the Wales World Education Service, international qualification assessment service, we have international credential evaluation services in BC. So if you are from back home, then you should consider the West, because that one is international, like you can find it everywhere. And the other one too, you can also consider, but most of them are based in Canada. Okay, So that is into it. Let's go back. So that is for the education. Let's see the selection factors. If you meet all the minimum requirements, we will assess your eligibility for the Federal Skilled Worker Program based on one, your age. So as I said last in my video, your age, the higher your age, it brings your mark down. Your education level, so if it is diploma, if it is degree, if it is masters, it gives you mark as you go higher. But the age, as you are going higher, is bringing your marks down, but with the education, as you are going higher, is bringing your marks up. Okay, then they'll consider your work experience. You have 2 years, 3 years, then you get more marks for that. Whether you have a valid job offer, which you consider, they will consider your language skills. If you have band 7, band 8, then you should know that it will give you more marks. Then adaptability, how well you are likely to settle here in Canada, maybe based on your funds, your admissibility, all these police staffs. So that is about it. So based on how well you do in each of the 6 factors, we will assign you an overall score out of 100. The current pass mark is 67. So if these points give you like 67 points and above, then you will be eligible for this Federal Skilled Worker Program. Okay. So if you want to see how they use the selection factor point, you can also do it here. I think in my last video I showed you how you can check for your points as well. Then with the proof of fund, we come to that. You should know that you need money to settle in Canada. So you must have enough money for you and your family to settle in Canada, unless you are currently able to legally work in Canada, have a valid job offer from an employer in Canada. Then they know that when you come, you are coming to work to survive, but you still need some amount. So if you go much deeper into that, you get to know what they expect from you concerning the proof of fund. So let's just look at this one as well with the proof of fund. So if you want to calculate the size of your family, yourself, your spouse, your dependent children, you can come here and you look at the amount you can do. So if you come here, if you are one family like yourself, you pay $14,690 dollars to yourself and your spouse or whosoever. If you are two, $18,288. So it goes like that. This is the amount that you need to prove when you are applying for the Federal Skilled Worker stream. Let's go back. So coming back to the admissibility, you must be admissible to Canada. So as I say, the admissibility is all about maybe your condition, just like applying for a study permit. You have to assess your medicals and all these things should be standard, your police checks. So if you go into that, it will tell you maybe normally if you are inadmissible to Canada, you won't be allowed to enter if you have a valid reason to travel to Canada. If you committed or been convicted of a crime, you have a few options to overcome your criminal inadmissibility. So even if you are like you've been committed or been convicted with a crime, you can still overcome it by clicking on this link. Okay, so you go deeper into that and see if this affects you. Okay, so this is the admissibility and inadmissibility to Canada. When you are using this stream, you just have to take your time and read through that. Let's go back and continue with that. Then where you can live in Canada, you must plan to live outside the province of Quebec. The province of Quebec selects its own skilled workers if you plan on living in Quebec. So if you want to see the Quebec selected skilled workers for more information, you click on this link and it will send you there. But this is basically those who want to settle outside Quebec, okay? All right, so that is for the requirements for the federal skilled worker stream. So guys, I think this is clear. You have to consider your work experience, which should be 1 year, which should be a paid one, which shouldn't be voluntary, which should be like a 30 hours per week. The work experience should be like either current or previous one. What they need is that you have like 1 year work experience. Then you remember, the more your work experience, the more it gives you marks as well. The next one will be your language ability. You have to make sure that you are checking your NOC to know the language like requirements for your NOC code. And remember, concerning the work experience too, you should check the NOC for that as well, so that you know your tier category, okay? Then concerning the education, you should make sure that you are assessing your credentials if your education is not in Canada. So these are the basic minimum requirements. Then the other selection factors will be your age, your proof of fund, your inadmissibility, where you are living in Canada. Shouldn't be in Quebec, it should be outside Quebec. Your age, the more you age, the less your marks. And also your education, the more you have, the more your marks. Then your proof of fund, you go and calculate it. If you are 1 coming, 2 coming, then you should know the amount you are proving, okay? So that is all about the federal skilled worker. So if you are here and you want to move to Canada as a permanent resident, please don't waste your time. Try to get into the Canadian website. Check if you are eligible for any of these programs, okay? And try and consider your documents and apply. There is no harm in trying anything, okay? So if you are planning about moving with a study permit but thinking about finances, so you are back home waiting for funds to come for you to consider the study permit application, you can use that grace period to work if you can be eligible for the federal skilled worker stream. So you can use that grace period to make a meaning to your life, not to waste the time for maybe gathering funds for the study permit. You can also be eligible for this. So why don't you try? Okay, so please, if this video has been helpful so far, please consider subscribing. If you haven't, consider liking. Please, the like is very important to me. Comment, let me know your mind, let me know your questions so I can answer for you. And please share to as many as you can. Let's keep this family growing, okay? So the next step that you can also talk about is like get your documents ready, which I spoke of in the last video. So these are the documents, the language and everything. You should get it ready. Your police certificate, you should get it ready if you are invited. So all these things are when you are invited, okay? So if we invite you to apply, you will need to upload a copy of these documents you use for your profile. So that is where you will be bringing all your documents, your birth cert and everything, your use of a representative form if you are hired, and also your marriage certificate. If you are married, you have to apply other document, proof of relationship to a relative in Canada. You have to remember, I told you that in my last video that if you have a relation in Canada, it also gives you points. So they'll ask for a proof of it as well, okay? So guys, you submit your profile for the express entry. So I spoke of in my next content, so I wouldn't go much deeper into it, but there are steps to follow, and that is it. 1, check your eligibility, create an express entry profile, submit your express entry profile, and there you go. So guys, I hope this video has been helpful so far. I know I'm kind of rushing a little bit, but I don't want this video to be so far for you. So please try this stream and let's see how it goes for you and we get everything done. Thank you for watching. Please give me your like. I love you all. So in my next video, I'll be talking about the other fields, the other federal skilled worker stream. That is the trade one. Then we move to the Canadian experience class. So stay in touch with me. I love you. Bye.